Hi, welcome back to Infinity Complex Palace of the Immortals. I'm your interstellar hostess, Leah.
And I'm your cosmic host, Chris. We're playing Doom Eternal. I figured I'd let her start today.
Yeah, I don't get to start all the time. It's a treat.
Now, we should let her start more often. People probably like her voice better than mine.
I don't know that that's necessarily the case.
Hot fire. Okay, gotta adjust my headset. It's a little loud. I need
Yeah,
to be able to
no
hear
kidding.
you and the game.
It is definitely really loud.
So, before we continue, I'm gonna go through the shit I haven't. This whole episode might turn into this. Warning, we are in the first minute. I will post in the description
when
for
we're done
this,
reading
for a fact,
this.
if this whole thing will end up becoming Codex Ketchupery. So we read that. Man, gotta remember how to do stuff. I think we didn't do that. I don't think we did that one either. I know we did this. Okay, so the growth exhibits certain predetermined qualities. In the consumption of our ecosystem... Oh yeah, no, I've seen that one.
Okay.
Okay, we did that one. Report file hashtag ARC-AAR-C037 whatever comsec red /analyst Twashington -043 hashtag or / report starts. Operation Lock R follows.
Arr.
Following reports of UAC cultist presence at the Lock reactor hashtag ARC A291. Recon teams Infill Gamma and Infill Hector, that's stupid, attempted to gain entry to Lock and assess the situation. They just needed a key.
But Tish.
Their final transmission indicated a massive demonic presence entering the reactor facility through continuum gates. Sick hell portals. One or the other, man. Just name them something. Your report is super fucking confusing.
That's how regular reports probably are.
An emergency global council meeting approved an immediate ARC response to the situation at the Lock reactor. The assembled coalition strike force included 4 U.S. battle mech divisions, the Con-Ur long-range naval artillery barrage fleet. Could we have called that the Con-Ur LRNABF, since you fucking summarized everything else?
No kidding.
27 U.S. Nightbird Apaches. Was that necessary? 3 NATO shock troop battalions, 2 Con-Ur rapid response Levi tank, Levitank divisions, and 18,000 coalition special forces units. 18,000 soldiers just wasted their lives.
Oh, sure, now they abbreviated
Oh my god, they do too. The initial bombardment from the LRNAB, which was the long-range naval artillery barrage fleet, for those of you not paying attention. Look, they didn't even include the F on that, by the way.
Nope.
Was met with immediate response from was met with immediate response from invasion forces. An estimated 8,000 dual penetration -013G units, sick gargoyles. How about estimated 8,000 gargoyles attack the fleet? I don't read DP-0. What the fuck, man? Sinking 32 vessels and disabling a further 78% of the fleet. The remaining ships retreated to a position approximately 32 miles offshore beyond the reach of the gargoyles, but also out of artillery range. With the fleet out of action, the battle mechs and Apaches initiated a danger close salvo against the reactor as shock troops and special forces attempted a rearward infiltration. That is a weird word.
A weird word.
Several platoons made it inside the reactor where the demons had already established a dual penetration -136 nest. Sick super gore nest. Although gore nests have been reported at various invasion sites, this was the largest so far observed. The nest has been built around the reactor core itself. Several thousand IFF beacons are amassed at the nest location, suggesting the demons are using our fallen forces as part of their bio-organic continuum gate. Cool. So, there are tracking beacons that were in the soldiers and people and whatnot, and they're all being reported at the Super Gore Nest location, indicating their bodies were used as part of the construction.
Yummy!
I was translating that for you. At the time of writing, the dual penetration -136 nest is considered to be ground zero of the invading force. Unless the Continuum Gate is destroyed, this analyst sees no way to stem the influx of aggressors. Recommended response, TNA, total nuclear annihilation.
Nice.
/ report ends. Why not just say total nuclear annihilation or nuke the bitch?
Nuke the bitch.
This analyst? Crap.
Way to go. This whole episode will be this if you keep exiting.
I think we did a bunch of that. I think we did that. I think we did that one.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Originally established as a mining and communication relay, the UAC outpost on Phobos began immediate expansion following the destruction of the Argent facility on Mars. The UAC Board of Directors, intent on maintaining their monopoly of the Red Planet and its surrounding airspace, issued the construction of an expansive defense platform. Using technology derived from the BFG 9000, the design plan called for a massive particle cannon to be built on the orbiting moon. The BFG 10,000, the largest man-made weapon platform ever conceived, wields enough firepower to defend against even the most sophisticated of capital-grade, faster-than-light cruisers in existence, for those of you who don't know what FTL means, or against the eventual potentiality of a space-bound demonic threat. I wish I could carry that around with me.
I know, right? I think you're strong enough to do so.
Oh, missing something. Found in Final Sin. We got all the ARC broadcasts.
Uh-huh.
The woman that worships me. Okay.
Yep.
We're good there. We can move on. That yes. That yes. That yes. I don't think we had that one.
I don't remember.
I know where that is, though.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember you being there.
No, that's a different place I fought. It looks familiar, but it's a different place than where I fought the... Because I thought that was where I fought that tyrant. Because look, over here you've got the swishy swing things, but this isn't it. This is a slightly different area.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. You know what?
Amidst the long and enduring history of Sentinel civilization, there are moments in antiquity that have become buried in time. Forgotten chapters that remain concealed to Sentinel historians waiting to be unearthed. I could be doing this with my Vega voice, but I don't want to. The fallen city of Hebeth is one such tale, all but forgotten to the tomes of legacies past. Once a prosperous port city, a proud gleaming marker of conquest for the distant tribe of Bethian clansmen of the outer world, Hebeth bridged the disparate Sentinel colonies with the ingenious design of slipgate invention. But it was not meant to last. And among those cities lost in the crusades of Sentinel past was Hebeth, now little more than a smoldering ruin swallowed by the quaking surface of a once habitable Mars.
Okay, good to know.
Hebeth. Weren't you talking about that once?
Hebeth.
Yeah, something like that?
I don't think so.
I think we read about Sentinel Prime, right?
I honestly don't remember. We've gotten so many of these. I do seem to remember the Colosseum bit.
Yeah, I think so. Alright. Arg!
Ah!
Terrace Nabid. Crown Jewel of Argent Dinner. Ground zero of a massive demonic invasion attempt that changed Argenta forever. Quick summary.
Too long, didn't read.
Too long, didn't read. Divinity Machine.
Haven't read this, I don't think so.
I think I read this one, but I'm gonna read it again. Just in case. The ancient arena is a holy place for the people of Argent Dinner. Constructed in the earliest days of their history, this Colosseum served as a proving ground for trial by combat. Historical records indicate that the Argenta did not jail their own kind. Rather, prisoners and criminals were granted the right to earn their chance at regaining honor through victory in the arena. Those who succeeded were given a place to fight in the front lines of the Sentinel army, to die in service to Argent Dinner. That's how we wound up there. That actually, see, we haven't read this, or I would have already put that together. Because we were in the arena at first, and then we apparently fought for them.
Sorry.
You kicked the remote, and now you've caused problems.
I know.
Okay. This traditional use of the arena has subsided since the assimilation with the Dark Realm. The corrupted priests now allow more violent exchanges, with armed captives pitted against demons for sport.
Oh boy.
The priests of the Order Dag continue to hold, not anymore, undisputed power on Argent Dinner, Spilling the blood of the Argent Ascended class will result in the transgressor's banishment. Asylum amongst the Argenta will be denied to any who do not adhere to the rules of engagement.
I feel like there were no rules when you did fight there.
Alright, the city of Tiris Nabad was the crown jewel of Argent Denner. For centuries it served as the spiritual heart of Argent society, home to both the royal family and the center of political power. No expense was spared in the building of the city, with bold colonnaded architecture and towering monuments to gods and kings resplendent on every avenue. Rural Argenta flocked to Taris Nabad on pilgrimage to the Maker temples. And we read the other part. The city was ground zero to a massive demon invasion.
It looked so pretty before. The divinity machine.
And although the invasion was thwarted, the attack changed Argenta society forever. I have a feeling that whatever this divinity machine is, this is how I wound up as who I am.
Probably.
Within the infinite conscious matrix of the all-seeing maker god mind, could that sentence be any more convoluted, complex, difficult, and hard to read?
Conscious matrix of the all-seeing maker god mind?
There exists every potentiality, every predictive variable of possible future timeline, each one known to the maker collective with omniscient, inextricable clarity.
Okay, then.
The God mind surveys these timelines, watching them form and expand exponentially like fractal patterns in the fabric of existence. Among these infinite possibilities, only one constant appears among them, unchanged by the flowing data of endless variability. That of the prophesized destroyer. The one who would bring about the destruction of the makers. They're like, there are infinite possibilities, but we are all guaranteed to get fucked up by this guy.
Yup. That's exactly what that says.
History of the Sentinels Part 1. I know we read that one.
Yes.
Time of Grief, we read that. I think we read, like, all the way up to 6.
Oh, I don't remember.
We could not contain the demons. The Con Maker gave blessings, derived deeper, a scarlet elixir. No Maker would need... I don't think this is right.
You don't think we read that one?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we got past part 4, maybe.
Oh boy, that's a lot. Maybe we shouldn't read all of these, because weren't there like 13 of them?
We knew not of this seem cripple. Nope, we didn't even do 4. I think we stopped and just said, I'm gonna get them all after 3.
Uh-huh.
Because that's about me. Our army swelled as this is right here. The Mother God would determine where he stood before them, blah, blah, blah. He would one day come to threaten their way of light. And that's where we stopped.
I do remember that.
That's literally where we stopped. So, I want to do this for my sentinel. My translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. In the time of King Novik, as the Argenta secured peace and safety through dimensions across time and space, an outlander came to us. He was not of our world and spoke an ugly tongue. Fuck you. How he first took step upon our land was unknown. Sentinel scouts had found the outlander bloodied, clawed, and near death, mumbling of impending doom and the forces of darkness. The scent of blood followed him, and the gore that stained his armor seemed not entirely his own.
Oh boy.
By Argenta law, the stranger would be judged in the Colosseum, where he would be given the chance of all who stray from the path, to fight for his freedom. We knew not of this stranger. His mind seemed crippled with rage. He dressed in attire not suited for our lands, and carried munition of arcane origin. We watched as his will overcame his injuries, and in the blood arena he proved his worth. The Outlander's technique was crude and brutal, but the determination in his charge echoed that of any true-born sentinel. His war cry echoed through the Colosseum, as did the sound of his fury, and the gods cheered his banner. "Rip and tear!" they shouted as the beast pushed beyond mortal wounds and certain death. He would be gifted no rank, no title. The survivors in the arena were provided only one reward: The right to earn an honorable death while spreading the blessing of the makers to those in need. Basically, he's a crusader.
Basically, yeah.
Spread the word of God, and if they don't believe in God, kill them.
Pretty much.
The Outlander's determination was witnessed, only in this case, I guess it's demons, right?
Yeah, if you don't believe in demons, kill them.
The Outlander's determination was witnessed, his ravings documented, and through the word of the Urdak, the Khan Maker had him brought before her. She set her minions to learning his tongue, for with his ugly words he spoke of lands unseen, creatures born of fire, and a dark place unknown to the queen and her caste. Yet another opportunity to expand the gift of the makers to those in need.
So you were rambling about hell, because the makers were their own people. You were rambling about hell, and that's what caused...
It would seem this is what's happened here. The makers predicted I would come and destroy their way of life.
Yes.
But they were working with the Sentinels to bring together an era of prosperity. I showed up somehow talking of a weird place, and the Maker was fascinated with this. So she wanted to know what it was, and in doing so, condemned herself.
Pretty much.
Because she combined hell energy with the Sentinel energies to create Argent energy. Using Maker technology. So the three of them together created an evil beyond evils.
So all of this happened even before the last game we played.
Basically, though, if they had never found me, and if I had never survived hell the first time, the Makers would have continued to live in prosperity alongside the Sentinels.
Probably.
They would have never found hell and never made Argent energy.
Nope.
I'm the reason I'm the reason they got more powerful, and I'm the reason they will now die. Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. I don't know why I started off old, but I like the way I wound up. On the eve of the Black Star, the Dark Ones came from a world beneath our own. Oh, I guess it would have happened regardless. They didn't need me. Apparently hell opened up a portal on their own.
I see.
Not through ship nor ephemeral vessel, but through the fabric of dimensions. Out of swirling, fiery gates came horned beasts from a timeless realm. First one, then many. Crashing waves of evil swelled from the obsidian forests of the Argentian overlands. The Alorum clans from the eastern mountains fell first to the black hordes of devils, and the city of Telerum was slung under the weight of their charge. We sentinels rose to meet the beasts with spear in hand, the might of the holy fleet striking back at the demons. But the dark gates from whence they came gave birth still to even greater hordes. A line of blood was drawn with the fallen of both sides, and the unholy wars began as the time of darkness came upon us.
Oh my. I love that picture.
I really love these. That's what the demons used to look like in the original, that's original artwork style.
Yeah.
Like, on the covers. It's even part of my icon, you can, see it. Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. Unlike enemies of the past, we could not contain the demons emergent from the Dark Realm. Their weaponry was not conjured from machine steel, but from the essence of their very being. A dark magic not known to us in our many conquests. Had we grown overconfident, our victory serving to dull our blades as we drank in the glory of our expanding empire? Lost, we knew not of how to prevail against this foe. The Maker gods stood perplexed, and our engineers and priests scrambled to find the advantage in battle we so desperately needed. Unknown to the enemy, we were pushed to the brink of defeat, and our gods stood with us as we worked to find the answer. The Order of the Dag were the first to unlock the mystery of these foul creatures. The priests were able to capture several of the beasts and set about to identify the source of their power. It was then that the essence of the Dark Realm was discovered. Not wholly unlike our own, this power was the life essence that flowed through their twisted form and powered their attacks. It could be harnessed to power our own weapons, giving the Argenta the chance to combat the demons on even footing. The priests believed that with greater knowledge of the essence, we could discover its source and cut it off from the demons to strangle their armies from within, allowing us to regain the advantage we required for victory on the battlefield. The Khan Maker gave blessings to our Majesty and directed the priests to delve deeper into the mysteries of the Scarlet Elixir from the demonic realm, for she sought only to return balance to our universe. Proper assimilation was required, as hell stood beyond her influence. After great effort, the priests discovered more than they had ever hoped for. They learned of the true nature of the demonic energy, and how it could strengthen those skilled enough to harness its power. The energy coursing through the malformed bodies of our relentless enemy could be used to end life, or to enhance it. The power to heal, to mend, immortality, knowledge and enlightened faculties beyond our understanding. With the demon's life force in the skilled hands of the sentinel priests, and under the righteous gaze of the Khan Maker, our people would not only rise to victory over the unholy horde that clawed at our walls, we would move to a higher plateau of existence, ushering in a new era of military science and industrial healing. No sentinel would grow sick. No maker would need to suffer the transfiguration that they so feared. All would be risen. None could ever oppose our peaceful ways and threaten our world again. True balance over hell and its legions, over space and time, in this world and all others, we would dictate the order. United with the Makers, we would find peace eternal.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you? Oh boy, more reading.
I'm having a blast.
Okay, as long as you're happy.
The translation from the Ligue Resoltegenta, Book of Kings. The Khan Maker demanded a tithe of the essence, and driven by her desire, the priests submitted themselves to her will.
Oh my.
The Order of the Deg took counsel with the king, speaking only of the spoiled lands sure to be found through the cleft in creation, and the opportunity to purge the new invaders from Argent Denur. We took the war to their cursed lands, pressing through the gates of wizardry. There was one among us who seemed to know the true nature of these foul demons. It was the Outlander, the stranger who had come to us from places unknown. He who had survived in the front lines far longer than any Sentinel-born prisoner had before. His passion for battle against the vile horde was evident. His lust for their destruction... that was a weird one. His lust for their destruction matching our own. Though Argent Denur remained a foreign land to him, his fervor caught the attention of inquisitors of the Sentinel Guard, some whispering of a suspected allegiance he held in secret with the demons. Silencing the critics, King Novik deemed him worthy of selection. The signifiers brought a commission to our king, and it was decided that he be lifted from the common rabble. Though no arena-born prisoner had ever been granted the honor, the Knight Sentinels broke tradition and deemed the Outlander worthy of training. A number of disciples grumbled and chafed at the barbarian present in their ranks, but in the war with the demons, all opportunities for even the slightest advantage was to be considered, and as they witnessed the stranger spar with their Hallmasters, they found him an undying, unrelenting compatriot. This man was an outsider, friend to none, and yet rose each time he was thrown to the dirt of the circle. Battered and bruised, his brow stained with blood, he rose with grim determination for the chance to face his enemies in armed combat once again.
He just doesn't die.
Time passed as the stranger was instructed in the codified matrices of their order, the ancient lessons of battle and brotherhood taught to all sentinels. He could sense the opportunity before him. Soon, all of hell would feel his wrath once again. Satisfied that he would not be a detriment to their prowess, the Knight Sentinels granted him his wish as they ventured through the hell gates with the stranger in tow. They knew no rest, fighting in the unnatural elements and training under the blood moon of night. The stranger suffered exhaustion, wounds, and sickness, but asked for no aid and was offered none. 3 times the Knight Sentinels ventured into the gate and back, and upon every return, the stranger strode more capable than before. That didn't happen.
Okay.
his gait locked in step with the march of the sentinels, a disciplined and now controlled lust for demon blood ever present. The passing of years and numerous battles with the devils indentured the stranger to Argent's mightiest warriors, and no longer did they condescend to him as a new-blooded conscript, for to them he had become a brother-in-arms forged in war, an ally,
and a weapon. Old artwork.
With new artwork, old armor.
Yeah, that's right. I love the shorter ones.
Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. As we warred with the beasts, the Argenta society grew, under the watchful eye of the Makers and through the endless power of the Essence. While our generals were consumed with the unholy war, our culture was marked by the beautiful potion the enemies had provided us, the sweet elixir. It brought us immeasurable capacity, and empowered us to reach farther into dimensions once thought to be beyond our grasp. Under the direction of our Maker gods, and the engineering of our high priests, our weapons blazed and our war machines stormed. The throngs of the populace drank deeply from the well of energy unveiled by the priests, but we of the Night Sentinels took no part in their abundance. Some among us whispered accusations and warnings against this manner of progress, but they were quelled, as it was not our role to dictate the future of our people, only to defend it.
So this is when they started making Argent energy?
They made it. They're using that as a source of energy, but people elixir. Are telling the Night Sentinels are like, we think it's evil, but that's not our call to make. We're just meant to protect our people, not determine what happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers to the death. Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. Every time. As the black star ascended to its zenith, King Novik sat restless on his throne as a howling darkness began to assemble just beyond the mountain rise to the east. The blight came upon us in droves, flooding forth from the Hellgate with merciless fury. They brought with them a monstrous titan, the Dreadnought, a beast to rival the stature and mightiest of even the mightiest ancestral, and menace of even the mightiest ancestral. The grotesque giant laid waste to all before him, crushing all in his path. This was a total demonic assault, striking at the heart of Argent Denur as never before. How was it that the behemoth could pass through the demonic gate without warning? We would never know, though the Night Sentinels believed treason was at play. Caught off guard, the Sentinels scrambled late in defiance of the Titan and his horde, and with his coming the holy city of Taras Nabad prepared for judgment. With the onslaught of the demons massed in the sprawling shadow of the abhorrent fiend, the city shook to its foundation. None was spared save those that fled north. The vile swarm ransacked our temples and palaces, burning our towers and feasting on the souls of our clergy.
Awesome.
Yet the Night Sentinels rallied and held fast against the demons, though they were pushed back and corralled at the blood arena. As the dark of night descended, their swords remained potent, and shred the enemy multitude with abandon. Amidst the unyielding ranks of the Sentinels, when all other apprentices had fallen in battle, stood the Outlander. "Rip and tear!" He roared, ferocious in battle. The remaining conscripts of the arena stood in awe as they witnessed the beast who had once raged within their very cells, now armored alongside the shoulders of his sentinel brethren. He had risen where none other had before, a true-born sentinel fighter, the very best among them. But though the swarm fell before their assault, the Titan remained invincible, for none could tame the behemoth alone. In the hours before dawn, as the Night Sentinels weathered the relentless assault, the Outlander held his ground at the foot of the great wall in the northern bend of the castle. Seeing his unending vigor, Samur, Chancellor to the Mother God, hurried the Outlander away under veil of secrecy, and for reasons unknown submitted him to a rite untold. This was heresy, for Samur received no consent from the Khan Maker, nor did he receive her counsel.
Samuel.
In the chasteful of purity, the Outlander submitted himself to the divinity machine. There, Samur Maker, the seraphim known only to us as the aid to the Mother God, blessed the Outlander with fierce speed and power to match his will. It was the method by which this transfusion took place that was most uncertain to us, for we were of the knowledge that the Maker device bestowed onto the Argenta so many generations ago was to be used by the priests only to find the impurity among us. How could it be that the device was meant to cull the sentinel breed of its contaminants, could then be used to purify the Outlander's body and give rise to the one who could lead us into battle henceforth? What rose from the holy coffin on that fateful day was not the impure abomination the Covenant warned us of. The hero within would come to be known only as the Great Slayer, the Time Walker, the warrior Khan whose fire sword would blaze forth a path for the just and cut through the demonic horde with a vengeance that only a God King could summon. He rose unbroken by the ritual, his eyes burning with Maker magic. He took the crucible in his hand, and wraith fire leapt forth from the blade as only it will when held by a true sentinel warrior king. In our darkest hour, the Slayer had been chosen. Defying tradition, our most sacred laws, and the will of the great Khan herself, a stranger to our lands have been blessed with celestial might.
Cool.
From a nobody to a god.
Uh-huh.
Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. With the coming of the Slayer, the Night Sentinels took the campaign deeper into the heartland of the demons than ever before. Mighty Atlans were brought forth, tearing paths through the hordes of hell, alongside the Slayer and his army. The high priests, under the guidance of the Mother God, had found means to gain entry to the innermost regions of the demon world, and with the Deg's presence, new gates could be opened. Our war machines were unstoppable, wrought with Maker technology, enhanced by the very essence our enemies hurled against us as our armies drove deeper and deeper into the blood-drenched territory of the demons. Countless victories were assured with the power of the Slayer, for with the Alpha Interfector at the fore of our pack, we brought certain doom to our foes. And though our hearts were pure and our purpose righteous, unbeknownst to the fighters of Argenta, in our wake, and under the veil of secrecy, the Mother God had set her priests to build vast factories upon the heathen's land, that she might gather the essence for further development. How this deception began we would not know, for our focus remained on the hordes of the underworld. Why then would we stoop so low as to consider our Mother God of betraying our covenant? The Khan Maker did not seem at ease with the unforeseen rise of our Slayer, and the Seraphim who had birthed the destroyer in secret soon vanished from Urdak, perhaps exiled for his heresy. Oh my god!
What?
I just now understood what the fuck you meant. Samuel Hayden, Samuel Maker, exiled, banished. He's got a robotic body that's of Maker similar to Maker origin. Oh my god! He made me!
Yep.
Motherfucker!
You just now putting that together?
I didn't put... I forgot his name was Samuel Hayden. I was thinking like Samuel biblically. Oh! Our legions rose unfettered under the unquenchable rage of the Doomslayer, and his design led the Khan Maker to find profit in his endorsement. It soon became known that the Slayer was the Maker's God machine, a holy relic reborn, sent to bring the Maker's word to the wicked, and to smite those who would seek to harm all who followed the path to Urdak. With the Slayer unwittingly cleaving a path for her, the Mother God siphoned the essence, processing it beyond our knowledge into the fuel that would come to be known as Argent Energy. The Slayer cared not for polity. He took no interest in the workings of our people, but set his task only on his desire, the destruction of the demons in their world. He no longer spoke for reasons unknown, though it was understood that he still possessed the ability, offering only guttural hefts of anger as he inflicted pain upon his enemies. For years he marched with the Night Sentinels through the fires of the demon lands, and every return to our homeworld found much changed in Argentinua. Should any blame be apportioned to the Sentinels, it is this. In our fervor we were negligent of our people, and did not see the rising tide of evil our crusade empowered. We knew only the enemy laid before us and the wealth of Argenta at our backs. It did not pause to seek the cost and method of this progress.
Soldiers still not questioning their leaders.
We never questioned our leaders. Those must be the Atlans they spoke of.
Must be. Holy crap, there's still so much to read.
Almost done. We just got done with 10. We've only got 4 more.
They better be short.
This one doesn't look short.
Nope.
Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. Yet as the Slayer and Night Sentinels battled the demonic host, their failure to act outside the confines of their duty allowed the rancor of the Essence to grip the Argenta. It was on a mission deep within the boiling seas of the Nether Realm where the Order of the Six reside.
Back to reading the Bible?
No, I love that. Within the boiling seas of the Nether Realm where the Order of the Six resides. It's like the fucking, like I've said it before, on a dark night, the wind howled as the Council of Nine, or as the Council of the Blind met at the seat of Nine, or some shit like that. As the Council of the Blind met in the Palace of the Nine, and you're like, what? That's all. It was that a company of Night Sentinels learned of the Khan Maker's true dealings with the callous beasts. By Maker design, it was kept secret from the Sentinels and Argent people alike that the essence we had grown so reliant on during this war was comprised of the very spirit of our brothers and sisters who'd fallen to these vile creatures. The truth had been uncovered, that all beings who found their end by the demonic horde would become a vassal of the hellscape. Their flesh in time twisted into the very demons we fight, their souls extracted to create the essence that powers their world and ours. The victims were the enemy, and the enemy would become us. The soldiers stood in awe at the base of a factory dedicated to such action, a place where the bodies of the slain were sorted and processed, tortured for the mill to have their souls extracted through sinister magic. Enormous vats of pain and suffering, ethereal energy, the haunting sounds of lost souls awash in an eternity of servitude, transformed into energy to power our struggle against the dark realm and its malice. But worse than this grim reality was the discovery of the machinery which was used to enact the vile process our fallen had been subjected to. For it was not by hoof and claw that this blasphemous technology had come to pass, but by the hand of the Argenta guided by the Mother God's desires. We had fallen deep within the grasp of the enemy. What we had fought against would not reveal itself to be true, as without continence we could hold no sway over the Argenta populace. Regardless, the honor of the Night Sentinels would have to hold up the verity of these claims, and the Mother God could be our divinity no more. In secret corridors and clandestine conference, the Night Sentinels would find those amongst them who similarly distrusted the essence and had foretold the swelling corruption. Once the truth could be shared, the skeptics became members of the Sentinel insurrection, and the breach between holy and unholy Argenta began to grow.
I want to know who wrote this, and why they were still living to write it.
Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. The truth could not be denied. The unholy spires raised in the barren lands functioned by blessing of Maker machinery. The Khan had betrayed Argentineur and had made concert with the demons to harvest their essence, in return granting them access to all the worlds under her influence. A symbiotic relationship had formed, and darkness now had been balanced by a light. For where there was heaven, so there would be a hell. The followers would be granted passage to Urdak, and the sinners would fall into the fiery pits of the dark realm. This word would be spread from all cultures in all worlds and in all... This word would be spread from all cultures in all worlds and in all places. We were not without blame, for it was our people, the priests and sentinel engineers, who laid the work in place. Argenta's slaves had built the dark factories, and our own ancient wraith energy helped purify Hell's elixir into the miracle fuel that now powered the Maker's world and our own. The Night Sentinels spoke of the evil brought by the essence and carried their word to all who would listen. We had helped to create this new dichotomy, and so it must be for the Argenta to stop the spread of this pestilence, this new phase of existence, the dark and the light. If not for us, then for the innocent whose worlds have yet to fall under the spell of the Maker God and her unseen allies in the Hell Dimension. Even when the Night Sentinels returned from the demonic realm with tales of slave factories that damned the souls of the innocent, the indoctrinated masses of Argentina took no quarrel with the Makers. They were indebted to the demon essence. The ministers deliberating but finding no basis for change. The messengers were cast down for daring to speak against those who have gifted us so much, our gods. The Makers in their infinite wisdom would see fit that the faithful continue life anew in Urdak. They feared the wrath of the Mother God. A lifetime of servitude would not be undone by this insurrection. This was simply another trial, a test of faith to identify those that were truly worthy to experience life eternal in Urdak. The Argenta would not waver in their resolve. The Night Sentinels prepared for war once again, though this battle meant drawing the blood of their own brothers. Our army had seen the work of the demons firsthand and knew its evil. They had returned to the way of the Wraiths, and though their armament was diminished without essence, it remained pure and righteous. A division amongst the Argenta had occurred, one side standing in opposition to the doctrine of the Makers, the other locked in belief. The Ascended Empire was comprised of the faithful and misled, wielding the desecrated energies of hell, the power of the Makers, and the marauders who had sided with the Khan. The Night Sentinels who were bolstered by the free people of Argenta and the mightiest of all killers. The Night Sentinels were bolstered by the free people of Argenta and the mightiest of all killers, the Slayer himself. Plans and tactics were drawn. The Sentinels would close the Argent energy factories in Necroval, which fed the world of fed the world of Urdak directly with the supply of fresh essence. They would stop the flow. The slumbering Wraiths would wake from their sleep and give Argent Demure courage.
Oh boy.
They failed, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh, look, there I am.
Yep.
I'm all the way up there. Almost done.
Almost.
Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. For years the civil war raged and took its toll on the soldiers as our armor laid stained with the blood of their brothers on a cursed battlefield. Finally, an opportunity to end the war had been discovered by the Urdak and the Night Sentinels. With the Slayer at the head of their army, they gathered to traverse through the gate and sunder Necroval, the city of the dead. The Order of the Dag, the high priests who had pledged their allegiance long ago to the Night Sentinels, worked in service of our mission. Those holy priests who had served the Argenta since time immemorial assured us that the way was clear. My nose is on fire because I'm trying not to cough. A plan was set to march into the accursed walls of Necroval and smite the factory, cutting off the flow of essence to Urdak and denying the Khan Maker of her prize. Our forces took spear in hand and advanced, and it was there that the venom of treachery struck. Upon entry through the Hell Portal, the Night Sentinels were scattered to the winds of unplanned chaos. Our warriors were separated, our ranks split as the gates twisted and hurled them across the unholy realm. Some of our warriors appeared near to gates they had walked before, but found that the vile priests had barred the way back. Then the trap was sprung, and each lone Argenta found himself set upon by bloodthirsty multitudes of demonic beasts. Let it be known that it was not the priests alone who failed the northern armies, but one of the Sentinels' own. Hell found his weakness and exploited it to the demise of Argentina. If not for the betrayer's stroke of madness, the Wraith's power would still be our own, and the Sentinel flag would still rise above Argentina to this day.
One more. There's all the deeds.
They had it. They would have won. They were about to win the war.
So what happened?
Somebody betrayed them. Scouted in hell, it's the last one, I didn't do it. Translation from the Ligra Soltigenta, Book of Kings. Scouted in hell, abandoned by their clergy and reinforcements, the Sentinels proved their worth in what would be their final war with the forces of all evil. Unrelenting power in the face of certain death, The Sentinels crushed hundreds of demons and skewered Titans. When their Atlands held no more fuel, the Sentinels took to the ground and fought the swarms on land. All of hell knew of the betrayal, for it was without question the Makers and the priests who had sowed the seeds of deceit long before the brave warriors passed through the gate. What hell saw that day was the beating heart of the free people of Argent D'Nur. They did not flinch in the face of their own certain death. They died as they lived with sword and shield in hand. Urdak too low a place to house such giants. Theirs would be the fate of warrior gods, remembered for all time. Lord Sash, the stalwart bannered sergeant, the stalwart banner sergeant was found with his war standard pierced through the throat of a great beast, his body surrounded by the corpses of enemies. Roan the mighty, the light faded from his eyes, had eviscerated such a multitude that their entrails clung to the black rocks like vines. Gore, relentless until the end, had broken his blade on the backs of his foes, and by the time he fell, he had slain another 200 with his hands alone. The priests believe the Sentinels all slain, but we are Argenta, born to overcome. Rumors, deemed heretical by the Order Deg, persist in claim that the Slayer himself still rages in the unholy realm. None who live can know, but the future of Argent D'Nur has been bent and twisted by the perverted vision of the essence drinkers. Never again will the light of the rays illuminate our world. All has fallen. If the Slayer does live, let him carry our vengeance forward. If he persists, let him wreak violence on those who have wronged us. May the blood of his sword never dry. May his war never end until the guilty have been punished, and may evil never again spread its shadow over another world.
Alright, I think you had just the one monster demon to read about, and then other than that, I think we'd read everything. Also, that's a beautiful picture.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I really got some drive there in the end.
Yeah,
I really brought it home. We got all this stories of hell stuff.
Oh boy.
Let's see, we did Hell Barges, Hell Priest, Deg Nilox, Deg Renak, Doom Hunter, Marauder, Deg Grav, Gladiator. Did we do the Gladiator? Yeah, we did the Gladiator. Necrovol, I think we did this one. Yeah. Fuel the Eternal Flame. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out who's reading this, but Korax tablets. I don't know. Korax sounds demonic, so the transformation of mortal creature into demon is.
Yeah, go ahead. Read the whole thing like that.
I could do something similar to that.
The transformation of mortal creature into demon is a lagged and gradual process, one that can take eons to transpire without the catalyst of Argenta intervention. The victim is left to wander in the Shadowland for years uncounted, where over ageless time they transform into demon. During their nightmares journey, the ethereal soul slowly drains from the body. In that dark realm, the substance of mortal life is manifest as matter. It gathers in pools of volatile aura found all over hell. Demonkind call these pools a well and use them to invigorate themselves for battle. It is from this aura that the essence is formed. By melding it with wraith energy, that which lights the darkened hall and sets the sentinel sword ablaze, the essence is founded. The combining of these primal energies creates argent energy, a power source so potent, so incalculably blah 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 blah, demons can't say this word. So incalculably formidable that it has consumed the Argenta and driven us on to greater influence.
Oh, it's the Argenta that are reading this, so it's the same guy.
Guess so.
That was ever possible with wraith power alone. Look it up. Vega data entry. This is one of the soul spires identified in the Argenta texts built into the central columns of Necrovol. Although most soul spires were linked directly to Argentinur through a Hell Priest created continuum gate, this particular one is linked to Urdak, the homeworld of the Makers. Every time I hear Vega talking, he sounds like he's delighted to be speaking to you. Like, oh, hi, how are you? I'm
Vega.
selling you a vacuum. My name's Ned. There is no continuum gate here, presumably due to the Con Maker's natural distrust of those under her charge. The Soul Spires were designed by the Makers to accelerate the processing of mortal victims into Argent energy, and built in secret by Sentinel slaves under the direction of the Order Dag. This forced labor was a crucial step in fulfilling the Con Maker's desire for Argent, as beings from Urdak are unable to cross over to Hell's dimension.
Good to know.
See? So matter-of-fact and happy to meet you.
Hello.
My name's
am
Vega. How are you?
Would you like a blender? How about some makeup?
Why are these separated?
I have no idea.
The Maker's need for the essence is prime. Without it, they must suffer the monstrous fate of transfiguration and see their wisdom and faculties slither from their twisted forms. By the bidding of the Con Maker herself, the Order of the Dag has devised a method to improve and accelerate the production of the Hell Aura. What once took eons for the savage beast to attain can now be accomplished in short order by Argenta intellect and with greater efficiency and consistency. We constructed the Soul Spires, vast halls erected in the savage lands by our slaves and under direction of the Order. Even though we raised a monument on that ground, demonkind does not harry us during assembly of the Soul Spires, for the Con Maker herself bartered a deal with the Dark Lord that rules over the Shadow Walkers. A bargain was struck. The demons would be given fresh worlds and souls to consume, bolstering their forces and expanding the corrupting domain of Hell, and the Makers would be granted access to the flow of Argent. The procedure inside the Soul Spires is thus. The captives are tortured until no semblance of humanity remains within them. Bereft of hope, the mortal soul is vulnerable and can be easily extracted. This we achieve with a machine from the enlightened mind of the Con Maker herself, the Avulsa. Once the Avulsa has done its deed and the soul has been extracted, the victim's body is ejected into the wasteland where, as before our cunning meddling, it becomes demon over time.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Indeed.
And also biblical.
We gather the volatile aura and store it in vast reservoirs. There it coalesced with wraith energy and subjected to the infernal fires of hell itself. In the heat of the primal fire, the essence is loosed and captured for our gain. The final stage of the process is the dividend of the gains. Vast quantities of the essence are fed directly to Argentinur. Sorry, in the middle of that, I just heard essence.
Essence.
Oh my god! Are fed directly to Argentinur to power our machine and drive our engine. The rest is reserved for the Con Maker. Though she may never set foot in the dark realm, she has devised means to teleport essence to the Holy Land, that which she calls Urdak, the domain of angels. Her use of the essence is unchallenged, for it was she and her court that gave us design to capture the essence, and her payment is just.
So you're on Urdak now, right? That means you get to kill this bitch soon?
I'm in heaven.
You're in heaven?
They're heaven, yeah. Maker drones? We read that, right?
We read that. I think it was only the summoner, not summoner, whatever it's called, that we haven't read yet. Archvile?
No.
We read it?
I want to read it like a demon or something. Read it... You know what?
What? Read it like a... Forged from hellfire, the Archvile is feared among lesser demons for its innate ability to channel and manipulate the unholy powers of hell magic. Descended from the eldest race of demons, the Archvile has long held a place within the ruling caste of highborn demon kind, possessing superior intellect among the demon ranks. The archvile's psychomancy powers make it a natural-born ruler of the savage and primitive beasts of hell, capable of bending weak-minded underlings to serve its will.
Fucking perfect! I fucking knew that would happen! I knew it. I fucking knew it. You could read anything in that voice. That was awesome! Oh, God, I wish I'd had you read those earlier like that. Oh, God.
If only.
Demon's friend to Gelfling.
Demon's friend to Doomslayer.
The Doomblade, I think. The Unmaker.
You haven't been reading the guns.
Yeah, well, I didn't read the Unmaker.
No, you haven't read any of the guns.
I haven't?
Nope.
Okay, well.
No, you have
I can't
not.
read that, so.
No.
Tri-directional Argent Bolts. The destructive potential of this weapon is rivaled only by the BFG.
Okay, so, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Yeah, I don't have time. I'm gonna have to go ahead and mark this episode as being,
Eventful!
entirely dedicated to,
Reading?
reading, yeah.
But that's
we finally
okay.
caught up, right?
Yeah, so
we'll
now
go
we
ahead
can move
and
on.
just do
next
another
time.
episode real quick and actually get through something in this game.
Some battle.
So we'll see you guys next time. Go ahead and like this video if you did enjoy the catching up
Listening
and
to
the
us
various
read,
voices
yes.
and whatnot.
Comment in the section below if you'd like us to do more ridiculous voice reading.
Yeah. Subscribe
Share.
if you want to see more.
Right. Share us with your friends so they can see our ridiculousness.
And we'll see you guys next time. Stay immortal.
Stay immortal!